want to start out with Ryan Bader, if I could. Ryan, clearly you've been at the top of the game for like 15 years now at this point, but historic event here, right? So just your impressions of all this talent on stage, this opportunity, and this card.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, this doesn't happen in MMA. Everything we're doing this week is big. The shoots, press conference here, you know, and champion versus champion.
Microphone.
Okay, hold it. Okay. Do I have to start over? You hear it?
No, you can start over. It's okay.
No, it's a huge deal. Doesn't happen in MMA, right? And everybody's, all the fans are wanting these super fights and all that kind of stuff. And I feel a lot of organizations they don't want to risk putting their champions out there, and then all of a sudden another organization comes out there and sweeps them or gets more wins or whatever it is, you know. So yeah, I love it. We're doing it in Saudi, you know, bringing the first MMA fight to Saudi. The whole card, if you look at it, you know, it's stacked, and it's gonna be a good time. We get to, you know, kind of claim another belt too. You know, although it's not the PFL Championship or the Bellator Championship, you know, obviously we're gonna know who wins that. So, huge opportunity, love it.
You fought the absolute best of the best in the world. I'm just curious what you think of Henan, obviously a large human being. What are your initial impressions of him as a fighter?
Yeah, you know, I have 40-some fights, you know, he has quite a bit less, you know, and I've been in this game, I stood across everybody, legends in the sport, champions, former champions, you know, I've been in there, I've been fighting 5-round fights since I can remember, you know, and so I'm proven in that aspect, you know. Look at him, he's an amazing fighter, he's huge, you know, and you know, he's fun to watch, and it's one of those challenges that I'm gonna have to go in there and kind of dictate what I do, you know. I just feel like I have more tools. Same point, he's a giant man in there swinging hard, you know, you never know what happens.
Yeah. And lastly for you, Ryan, since it was brought up, I mean, obviously can't overlook what you have here, but you've kind of been on this run of rematches and things of that with Bellator. Francis Ngannou, is that the name that would be most interesting to you should you prove victorious here?
Yeah, 100%. You know, that's one of the fights that, you know, he's got his boxing fight coming up, but I think it's perfect timing. You know, we get this done, and, you know, the winner gets that opportunity. You know, Francis is coming over, you know, former UFC champion. He just had an amazing fight with Tyson Fury, you know, and put everybody on notice. So to have the ability to go in there and kind of prove to everybody, go out there and get that win, you know, that's huge. So I'm not looking, obviously, past him, Henan, but, you know, get that done, 100%.
Thanks, Ryan. For Henan, if I could, please, I just want to ask you what this opportunity means to you. I mean, you're coming off the biggest win of your career, but now, you know, you're facing a legend, you're in the main event of this historic card. What does this moment mean for you?
O que esse momento significa para você? Um card tão grande aí, de muita importância. O que você acha que foi?
Lutar nesse card aí é especial, né? Fazer uma luta com um grande lutador aí como o Ryan Bader é um momento muito especial. Essa junção aí do PFL e Bellator também. Estou muito feliz em fazer parte dessa grandeza aí, desse crescimento do MMA. Isso é muito importante e a gente vai com certeza dar um grande show aí para os fãs. Como sempre aí, a minha luta agressiva não para, vou estar sempre andando para frente aí e trazendo o que a galera gosta de ver.
It's a special moment for the fans, it's a special moment for the sport. I feel honored to be in this position as a main event to fight against a guy with the credentials that Ryan Bader has. And, you know, just excited to get there. You guys know my fight style, always pressing the action, moving forward, so excited to put on a great show.
How much of Ryan Bader's career have you watched throughout the years at UFC and Bellator, and what do you think of him as an opponent?
Quanto das lutas do Bader você já assistiu, de tape dele, o que você acha dele como oponente?
Então, sempre acompanhei as lutas do Bader, né? Não só de agora que eu vou lutar com ele, mas pô, sei que é um grande wrestler, é um cara rápido e tem uma trocação também. Então, é um adversário muito duro, é um campeão, e para mim é uma honra estar lutando com ele.
I've been following his career for a very long time. I've watched his fights live, so I think he's a great athlete. His wrestling credentials speak for himself. He mixes that well with his striking too. So, as I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's a great honor to face off against him.
The last thing for Henan, I'll just ask you again, Francis Ngannou, I know you can't look past this, but reigning champion, beat another champion at that point, is there any way he could even deny that you're the guy
sei que você está focado nessa luta, mas a gente tem que fazer a pergunta. O vencedor dessa luta provavelmente é o oponente do Francis Ngannou. Você não, sem querer pensar muito à frente, mas qual é a sua opinião? Você pensa que ganhando essa é indiscutível? Tem que lutar contra o Ngannou?
Ah, com certeza. Eu acho que depois dessa luta aí, acontecendo tudo como a gente quer, o Francis seria aí a melhor luta, seja no MMA ou seja no boxe, aonde ele quiser, eu vou estar pronto.
Absolutely, I feel like it's undeniable. If everything goes as planned, yeah, I mean, after February 24th, Francis is the name. And that being said, I'll be ready to go at however he wants to do it. If he wants to do it in MMA and boxing, we'll be ready.
Thanks, Ed. And if I could just quickly for you just come off this fairy tale run at light heavyweight from the Challenger Series to champion. Why is the right move for you to go to middleweight and take this fight?
Hey, how you doing? So, thanks for having me here. Number one, it doesn't stop there, right? I respect Johnny. He's a really good fighter, man. He's doing great work. And for me, it's like if you want to be the best, you gotta go challenge the best where they're at. He's been the king of the middleweight division in Bellator. For me, my focus is to be a multi-class weight champion. That's my opportunity to do it. I mean, you've seen it. It's like there was some ATT, Kill Clip. You can say whatever you want. But for me, it's like when you see a great fighter across that ring, that's what gets me excited. That's what gets me going, right? And man, like it's an opportunity, it's an honor, and I'm here to stake my claim.
Thanks, Simba. Johnny, if I could just quickly for you, your run in Bellator has been incredible. Champion, I think you have wins over number 1, number 2, number 3 in the ranking, so dominant to say the least. What would this victory mean for you? Where would it rank among the wins that you have thus far?
I mean, every win's a win at the end of the day. I don't really focus too much on the caliber of win. This was an opportunity that was presented to me, and I pride myself on being ready and always willing to fight. And Nipa's name popped in, and I'm just down to scrap, bro. I'm here to get in a fist fight.
All right, my questions are for the middleweights. I'll start with Johnny, then Nipa. Johnny, you've been very vocal over the last year about being the best middleweight on this planet. Does he win over Impa Kasanganay on the 24th? Does that staple that? Does that clarify that you're the best middleweight? And also, you kind of talked about maybe moving up to light heavyweight. Can that be seen in 2024 for you?
I actually have never stated that I'm the best middleweight in the world. People around me have stated that, and there's days where I believe it, there's days I don't, but I just train to get better every day. I don't really focus too much on that. But like I said before, Impa's name popped in the hat, and I was ready for that challenge. He's a PFL champion at 205. He's tough, he's durable, he's a good fighter, and I feel like just continuing to win is great, and that's what I'm going to continue to do as long as I fight.
Sure, thank you. Impa, my man, 5 wins last year in 2023, a banner year for you. Going into 2024, was it a plan for you to move down to middleweight, or when you got this opportunity, you had to jump at it?
And the plan was just to get a fight, right? So for me, Nemkop went up, respect to him. Excellent champion, did his work, wanted to go up to heavyweight. Again, Johnny's name came across my table, so I was like, let's go. No questions asked. When a fighter's fight is what I do, and I claim this victory on the 24th and move forward into the season.
Awesome. Let's go to both of you guys. One more, last one for Miss Clarissa Shields. A prominent female fighter is not here under this banner anymore. Are you? Would you want to be the new, leadership, the new face of the female MMA under this PFL and Bellator banner?
Well, it's a lot of great talent on the PFL. I just want to do my due diligence and train and just win my fights, and hopefully I'll be as great as these guys up here and I can fight in the PFL championships and I can have a chance to fight for the $1 million. But right now, I'm just taking it one fight at a time. I want to get back on a winning streak as I lost my last fight by split decision, and just keep moving forward. But to be on this card and be one of the first women to fight in Saudi is a big deal for me in my career, and I just want to come back and show that boxers can do MMA and that I have the potential to be a PFL world champion one day.
Over here, Patricio, over here. You're facing Jesus Pinedo, who's known for causing a lot of upsets. He beat previous winner Brendan Loughney. I was wondering, what is your thoughts on facing someone like him who, while is known for being the betting underdog and the underdog in general in certain fights, has surprised many within the PFL and MMA in general.
Patrício, você vai lutar contra um cara que teve várias vitórias como azarão no ano passado, né? O Jesus Pinedo, que ganhou do Brandon Loughnane, ganhou do Gabriel Braga, ganhou do Bubba Jenkins, enfim, um cara que vem bater nas casas aí de aposta. Qual a sua opinião sobre ele como oponente?
I know he's a tough fight, but he's gonna be a great victory to me. I'm very confident. I'm gonna bring this victory to my house.
Harry on Zoom.
McKee, AJ, you had one fight in 2023. I was just wondering what the sort of plans are for this year and that lack of activity and this new opportunity with PFL and Bellator. I'm sure it's something that's very exciting to you.
Definitely, man. It's going to be a great year. 2024 is the year of Kobe, rest in peace. So I got big plans for myself this year. I'm excited to have finished off the independent shows with Bellator and now come to full circle to the PFL show, and first one being in Saudi, that's epic. So I'm just super excited to be a part of this, and we'll see where this path leads.
One for Clay Collard. Clay, the judges' decisions got in the way of your run to the PFL finals 2 years in a row, and you came up short to OAM. 2 months has passed since that fight. Has it been tougher to deal with than expected, or have you just got back on the grind as usual?
You know, we took a little bit of time off. We got our body healed up, and then we got offered a fight. So it was right back to the grindstone, you know. I'm just super excited to start this card off and do it right.
Donna on Zoom.
Hey, a question for Vadim Nemkov. Vadim, you've made the move up to heavyweight. Obviously, Impa has gone down. Is this a permanent move for you, or do you still plan on fighting at 205?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You've made the move up to heavyweight to this fight. Obviously, Impa has gone down. Is the plan to stay up at heavyweight now and go for a second world title, or do you think you'll be back at 205?
Вадим, вопрос вам. Вы делали для того, чтобы участвовать в этом поединке, поменяли свою весовую категорию, вы планируете оставаться в ней или потенциально можете вернуться в свою предыдущую весовую категорию?
Пока я перешел в тяжелый вес, думаю, что на постоянку. Там, если будет хорошее предложение, можно будет и спуститься 205 кубиков.
As of now, my plan is to stay heavyweight because that's pretty much what I've been looking at. But if I get any good deals or interesting opponents, I have no problem going back to my previous weight.
Пока я жду, хочу зарекомендовать как хороший тяжеловес и победить всех.
As of now, my plan is to become the best heavyweight and beat everybody that I, possibly can face. So that's the main goal right now.
Hey, over here, Jim Barcelona. I'm here for Pitbull. I'm just curious your thoughts on this big event. You've had so many big fights. You've done so much so far, continuing. Just what are your thoughts on being a part of all this?
Patrício, qual a sua opinião sobre um evento dessa grandeza? Você que está com a empresa já há tanto tempo, já faz parte de todos os planos, os grandes planos do Bellator. Qual a sua opinião desse evento, enfim, coroando uma grande disputa aí entre o campeão de vários pesos aqui, de PFL e Bellator?
I was along the year asking for that. Cross promotion. It's very important to the sport. Everyone wants to see who is the best, who the champion is the best in the world. So now we have the opportunity to show who is real the best. So that's very important.
And Johnny and Impa, how much, I know we've had other fights like this, but how much is a factor is it American Top Team, great, Killcliff FC, great gyms, near close to each other. Yeah, you fought Josh in the finals, very much respect to Josh with American Top Team. Does that play a part in all this too when you're coming down to the fights and just trying to represent your gym as well?
Yeah, I'd say there's a little bit of a rivalry, nothing too big. Yeah, man, it is what it is. It's the fight business. I mean, people fight each other within the same gym. It happens all the time, especially at ATT. So, yeah, man, it's just business.
Yeah, no, I didn't grow up around it too much, but you know, you hear about the history between ATT and Kill Cliff and all that, and I think it just raises the standard of MMA. Both gyms build great fighters, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing, taking down another one.
And then last one for me is for Johnny. Are you going to be talking to Jason later? Since he's rooting for the guy on this side?
Fuck Jason Jackson, bro. He said he's part Chinese too and part Irish. I don't believe anything this man says, man. Pathological liar.
Hey, Chris over here. With all the greatness you've achieved in boxing, what motivated you to make the crossover into MMA and join the PFL?
I think it was a few years ago, and I wanted to fight Amanda Nunes in a boxing match. And they asked her if she would fight me, and she said, tell Clarissa Shields to come to my world and I'll choke the shit out of her. And when I heard her say that, it really lit a fire in me. And it was like, you know what? None of these girls will come over from MMA and fight me because I'll win, hands down. But it'd be a super challenge for me to go to MMA and to do great things. So I just wanted to challenge myself and show these girls that I'm not just badass in boxing, but I'm a badass just fighter, period. Like, I love fighting, I love the art of war and combat, so why not come to MMA, fight on the MMA rules, you know, and just prove myself. So that's why I'm here, even after, you know, having a loss. People thought I'd run back to boxing and I wouldn't come back, but hey, here I am. So I'm just happy to be here, happy to train, and just to get better. And I believe that within a year or two, you'll be seeing me fighting the PFL championships, and I'll be showing my class there.
Yeah, one more to follow up to that one. How have you adapted your training and your fighting style to MMA?
It's tough, man. It's tough. Like, the ground game is a whole different type of cardio, but really the whole thing is just doing it. Being on the ground, working off the cage, sacrificing that time to actually do it. And I haven't done that, you know, before because I am an athletic woman, but being in boxing for so many years, 17 years, it's a whole different change-up, it's a whole different transition. But I've been putting in a lot of cage time, ground time, just working on all my weaknesses. And that's why I wanted to come back to, of course, to win, but to show that, look how I've improved, and so I can scare some of these girls in MMA because they already scared of my hands, but now I want them to be scared of me just in the cage, period.
Great, thank you.
For Zoom, Diego, please.
Boa tarde, pessoal. A minha primeira pergunta é para o Patrício. Patrício, minha primeira pergunta para você é a seguinte: você é um dos principais nomes do MMA, você foi campeão do Bellator por muito tempo, agora você vai fazer essa luta Champs Press Champion. Qual a importância disso para o seu legado? Eu te pergunto isso porque na sua carreira você já tem muitas vitórias, muitas conquistas, já enfrentou, venceu muitos nomes, inclusive mais tarimbados do que o seu próximo adversário. O quão importante é essa luta em si, vencer o Jesus, mas o quão importante é o Champ para o seu legado?
Just translated the question here for the folks. Patricia, you've been around for a very long time and competing at a very, very high level. You've shown your worth and you've built a legacy for yourself, but how important is it for you to be able to fight a fight against a PFL champion and, you know, be a part of an event of this caliber, champions versus champions, considering the fact that your next opponent may not have the credentials and the legacy that your previous opponents have?
Tô te vendo? Cadê tu aí? Diego.
Tá no Zoom.
Ele tá no Zoom. Para mim é muito importante, a gente sabe que o Bellator já fez uma cross-promoção contra o Rise e eu bati em Clever. Então, essa é a segunda oportunidade que eu tenho de lutar contra outro campeão de uma diferente organização e vai cravando cada vez mais meu nome da história da categoria. Eu já tenho todos os recordes do Bellator, sou o atleta que tem mais vitórias e mais lutas na organização. E é isso, eu estou muito empolgado com essa luta E eu tenho uma coisa para dizer. Dois impérios irão colidir e o imperador irá nascer.
Yeah, I feel like this type of event is extremely important for legacy purposes. Bellator has done cross promotions in the past with Horizon. I had the chance of competing out there as well and walked out with my hand raised. I feel like step by step we are improving, we are growing our legacy. I hold all sorts of records at Bellator. Most times stepping inside the cage, most wins, you name it. This is, another stone in the crown. So this is a very exciting time. Two empires are going to collide and one new emperor is going to start reigning in Saudi Arabia, February 24th.
Patrício, mais uma para você. Eu tô aqui no Zoom, tá? Faz anos que os fãs brasileiros pedem pro Bellator e pro Brasil, assim, mais recentemente os fãs também pedem pro PFL e pro Brasil. Esses eventos ainda não aconteceram. Agora com a fusão e você sendo pelo menos um brasileiro ao lado da Cris, com mais visibilidade, com mais feitos no Bellator, o qual você quer trazer isso para o Brasil? Você acha que você pode iniciar essa campanha e de fato tirar do papel, tornar esse sonho dos fãs realidade? E caso sim, como você pretende fazer isso?
Patricio, given your stature with Bellator and some of the major Brazilian names within the PFL as well as within Bellator, the Brazilian fans have been asking, have been begging both Bellator and the PFL to take a show down south. Do you feel like with the merger of the two companies, do you feel like you have what it takes to get it done, to get a show down in Brazil?
O Brasil inventou esse esporte. Tudo aqui está acontecendo porque o Brasil foi o pioneiro e conseguiu trazer essa importância para o MMA. E eu acredito que o PFL já tem planos para entrar no mercado brasileiro, é um grande mercado. Nós não podemos ignorar isso. Eu estou pedindo ao longo dos anos. Era novo, já estou ficando velho. E acredito que em breve nós teremos uma boa participação na nossa terra.
Yeah, Brazil is where the sport came from. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the influence that Brazil had and Brazilian athletes had in the sport of MMA. Brazilian fans have been begging for it for a very long time. I've been asking for it for a very long time too. I started asking when I was young. I'm getting old now, so I think PFL has what it takes to move this forward and to get a show down in Brazil.
Perfeito. Duas para finalizar bem rápidas para o Marreta. Primeiro sobre o Romero, o seu adversário. Você tem 40 anos, ele tem 46. É o tipo de luta que você acha que faz sentido para a sua carreira neste momento? Enfrentar atletas com grande visibilidade, lutas que tenham mais visibilidade, ou você pretende ter fôlego para fazer uma nova corrida pelo cinturão?
Thiago, just a quick question about your opponent in this matchup. You're at 40 years of age now, you're also 46. Is this the type of matchup that you're planning for the rest of your career? Fighting big names, a lot of visibility, a lot of eyeballs, people watching, legends of the sport like yourself? Or are you looking at, climbing up the ranks again and making another title run?
Fala, Diego, tudo bem? Cara, primeiro, eu tenho 40 anos, mas eu não aparento 40 anos, quero deixar bem claro isso. E eu não fico caçando coroa para lutar. Eu não escolho luta, nunca escolhi luta. Mas eu estou muito feliz em enfrentar o Romero. É uma lenda desse esporte, é um grande lutador. É um cara que eu admiro. E é uma luta que faz sentido, é uma luta que o público com certeza quer ver, vai gostar de assistir. E eu estou muito feliz pela oportunidade. First of all, I want to say I don't look like a 40 years old guy, I not hunt old guys, I never choose my fights. That's okay, man. I never choose fights, but I'm very happy to be fighting Noel Romero. He's a legend of this sport, he's a guy that I always look his fight. We trained together a long time ago. When I was beginning, he already was a superstar. So We kind of friends, no any bad blood between us, and I'm very happy for the opportunity.
I have a question. Ryan Bader, I would like to ask you, your legacy is on the line. Every time you go in there and fight, you've had so many great moments. But do you have what it takes to dig down one more time, to take on somebody this young, to take on somebody with this much potential, to take on somebody this big?
Come on, Joe. Of course I do. I've been doing this a long time. You know, and I've been fighting title fights since I came over to Bellator. You know, the couple in there in the Grand Prix. But other than that, like I was saying earlier, 5 rounds every time I go out there and fight. And that's just not the fight, that's preparation. Going in there, you know, sparring those 5 rounds countless times, you know, and so I think that's gonna be the difference, you know. Just that in itself, and my mentality is going in there and I'm gonna put that pressure on until I get my hand raised and so it's not gonna be anything different this time.
Bader, I've seen you knock people down, I've seen you throw people down. Do you have a strategy yet for this opponent?
I mean, you always have a strategy going into a fight, kind of loose strategy for me, you know, kind of to see where it goes. He's obviously huge, he's long, he's a good striker. You know, I think his kind of weakness is my strength. So you kind of, you know, fill in the blanks there, but, you know, when you get in that fight, you see opportunities, you know, might stand with them, might take them down. But what I'm good at is keeping people guessing. You don't know if I'm going to, you know, feint, go in there, you know, take you down, and that's how I knock a lot of people out.
Oh, hold on, I didn't know if we were allowed to ask questions, but Chael did, so I'm gonna. Jason Jackson, I need to know, you were supposed to be fighting Maga, and you get the replacement opponent. It's Ray Cooper III. Now, at his best, we've seen Ray Cooper look like he can beat anyone in the world. He hasn't looked his best as of late, so what do you think of the opponent now that it's Ray Cooper III?
First of all, I just want to thank Ray Cooper for making this fight possible, because what I am, want to be no fireworks. I'm going to beat his ass.
I also want to talk to Bruno Capoloza. If you haven't seen this man fight, fastest hands in the heavyweight division, and Vadim Nemkov says, I want to fight at heavyweight. Well, fighting at heavyweight is one thing. Fighting at heavyweight against someone with your size and speed combined is a totally different thing. Do you think you're the right kind of opponent to welcome someone like Vadim to the heavyweight division?
Bruno pergunta aqui sobre o casamento dessa luta. O Nemkov é um cara com todas as credenciais aí como meio pesado, agora pegou e decidiu que quer subir o peso pesado. Você, ex-campeão aqui da PFL 2021 do peso pesado, um cara com muita destreza nas mãos, um strike muito afiado. Você sente que esse é um bom teste para a primeira luta no peso pesado para um cara como o Vadim?
Bom, acompanho o Nemkov aí faz algum tempo já. A gente já lutou no mesmo card no Japão. Sei das qualidades do meu adversário, porém também sei das minhas, né? Acredito que vai ser um grande show aí para os fãs e pode esperar uma luta muito boa esse dia 23.
Well, I've been following Vadim's career for a very long time. We actually fought on the same card out in Japan once, so I've known him for quite a while. I know his strengths, I know of his work and his qualities, but I also know mine. Combine those two, I can guarantee you guys we're going to have a great fight come February 24th.
All right, I got to go back to Jason Jackson. I just got a text from someone in Hawaii. They want to know, and I want to know now too, how are you going to kick Ray Cooper's ass? Tell us the game plan.
Listen to my name, what they call me, the ass kicking machine. So you know I'm gonna deliver in Saudi Arabia on February 24th. I guarantee. There's no going back. And I'm gonna get my rollies. I'm telling you.
Jason wants, you want a Rolls Royce? You think you're gonna get one while we're over in Saudi?
No, not a Rolls Royce, a Rollie. The one that Mike Hogan has on his wrist.
Oh, Rolex, okay. I think it was Patricio that wanted the Rolls Royce. Somebody, these Bellator guys, they have very expensive taste.
Zoom, Alex.
My question's for Kelsey. What were the emotions like when you got the phone call to face Clarissa?
Can you say that again? I'm a little bit hard to hear.
What were the emotions like when you got the phone call to face Clarissa?
When I got the phone call, I was super excited. I've been doing MMA for over 10 years now, and I think this is a huge opportunity, and I'm so humbled to be a part of this group and to be on this card. From what I know, I'm pretty sure it's the first women's MMA pro bout in Saudi Arabia, so I feel like the historical value there is very impactful, so it's an honor.
Awesome. And then just to follow up for Johnny Eblen, obviously after fighting, I mean, is there a chance that you move up to light heavyweight and compete in the tournament, or are you focused on just defending your middleweight belt?
Man, if they offer me enough money, I might do it. Money talks, and I'm here to fight. And I kind of like the tournament structure. I'm young. I wouldn't have to cut weight for 205. So I mean, that's easy money for me. Fighting 4 times in a year, making millions of dollars, sounds like a good plan to me. But as of now, I'm focused on IMPA. I'm focused on defending my belt, and we'll see where it leads.
My question is for Yoel Romero. Yoel, I know 2 sports very well. I know MMA and I know freestyle wrestling. I look at you, I look at Clarissa. Only Olympic medals on this whole stage. I can't help but feel you're getting a little bit disrespected. You have any questions? People don't think you're coming for a championship. I personally do. Am I right, or is everybody else?
Joel, aquí hay muchos olímpicos que han ganado medallas. ¿Tú te sientes que te están faltando el respeto con tantos campeones aquí y tú tan mayor ya no te prestas atención? ¿Qué tú crees?
Bueno, absolutamente para nada. Creo que para mí es un honor y un orgullo poder estar al lado de tantas personas jóvenes y con tantos talentos y grandes campeones. Estar siendo partícipe de este gran show para mí es un honor.
For me, it's an honor to be a part of this type of event with so many respected names, champions, so it's no disrespect for me, it's just an honor.
Creo que cuando me ponen atleta como el calibre de Santos, creo que el show está garantizado.
Cuando me ponen, when you give me an athlete like Thiago, a show's guaranteed, it's always going to be a great fight.
Yoel, when you came into the sport, I thought you were going to be the one to beat John Jones. I watched Thiago, I thought Thiago did beat John Jones. Certainly you saw that fight, certainly you respect Thiago. How important is this win to you?
Joel, cuando entraste al deporte, yo pensaba que tú eras la persona que ganó a John Jones. Thiago estuvo muy cerca de ganarle. ¿Qué tú crees de esa pelea?
Bueno, fue una pelea extraordinaria. Todos sabemos el calibre y de la categoría que tiene Johnny, y Santos le dio un gran combate. Creo que fue merecedor de tener esa oportunidad ante Johnny.
It was a great fight. Johnny is a very good opponent, and Thiago fought a great fight. He deserved that opportunity, and it was very good.
Zoom, Ben, please.
Good timing. A question for Yoel Romero. A video of you trying on the gloves this week had people mentioning that you finally looked your age. What is the message to those people?
Esta semana en el video tuyo poniendo los guantes, mucha gente dijeron que esta vez tía tu edad. ¿Qué tú le dices a la gente diciendo que te ves más mayor esta vez?
Bueno, la edad existe, pero lo que ha demostrado que me sigo portando bien en el cage es cómo he terminado las peleas, cómo han sido los resultados. No han sido favorables, pero sigue comportándose, mi cuerpo se sigue comportando a la altura de estar en estas competiciones.
Well, my performances in the cage have been good. Some of the results haven't gone my way, but I keep on performing, I keep on doing well, and my body feels well.
Creo que con la edad se trabaja. Creo que Dios me dio el talento y yo lo que he hecho ha sido pulirlo. Con disciplina, entrenando todos los días y llevando una buena alimentación, se puede lograr grandes cosas.
With the age, you learn different stuff, and over time, I've eaten well, I've trained harder, and I just keep gaining more experience, more knowledge, and while I'm older, I've got different skills I'm ready to showcase.
I love it. And a question for Jesus Pinedo. The Cinderella story continues in this clash between Peru and Brazil. What does this matchup mean to you?
Jesús, el año pasado fue uno de historia. Nunca te esperaban que tú ganes. ¿Cómo se siente haber tenido un año tan bueno y ahora esta pelea contra Pitbull, un oponente con tanta historia buena?
Sí, el año pasado fue bueno, ¿no? Como todos lo saben, pero este año va a ser mucho mejor. Estoy listo para pelear con Pitbull, estoy listo para ganar ese día y estoy listo para ganar el próximo campeonato que se viene también este año.
Last year was great. It was very good for me. This year's going to be even better. I'm ready to fight Patricio the 24th, and then I'm going to win another championship.
All right, that's it for questions from the press. I do have one last question. It's for our Bellator gentlemen. We've had champions come over from other organizations thinking they could win a PFL championship. The season format, the quick turnarounds, it's been too much for everyone so far. So just by raise of hands, if you'll entertain me, if you're a Bellator current or former champion, do you think you could fight 4 times in 6 months and win a PFL championship if you were put in the regular season playoff championship format? Just raise your hands if you think you could win a PFL championship. That's what I thought. Okay, I thought they would say that. We're going to find out. We're going to establish this pecking order. Seize the throne. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, February 24th. We do have one order of business left, Chael Sonnen. We need someone who will stand in the middle as we face off these fighters. I certainly am not going to do it, especially after asking a question like that. Would you mind?
I'm in. Let's do it.
All right, Chael Sonnen will take his place as temporary president of fighter operations, and we will face these fighters off. All right, we'll go ladies first in order of the card, of course. So come on down to face off, please. Kelsey DeSantis. And her opponent, Clarissa Shields.
I was listening
All right, thank you, ladies. Up next, AJ McKee, Cassius Clay Collins. Up next, Thiago Santos and Yoel Romero. And on pay-per-view, it will be 5 bouts. Champion versus champion. Bruno Capoloza and Vadim Nemkov, both former champions. Bruno, 2021 PFL heavyweight champion. Vadim Nemkov, former Bellator light heavyweight champion, who has vacated his title to pursue heavyweight